Nathan Oakley's Flat Earth debate show was one of the first group of people I ever took on in the early days of this channel.
Could I address this alkane nonsense?
Yeah, if you want.
And there was a video put out about a bunch of flat earthers get it astonishingly wrong, I think was the name of the video by this gentleman here. Where are we?
You're on.
SciManDan, right?
You mean no SciManDan? There's no sci in his conversation. He just rejects the evidence and distorts it to suit his narrative.
Wow, they're straight in there with the discrediting, aren't they? Absolutely smashing takedown, Mr. Warrior.
Do you know, can I just say, Ranty, before you do, Nathan and I discussed whether we should even talk about this, and we came to the conclusion that we weren't going to mention it because we didn't really want to promote him.
That ship sailed, isn't it? And ever since then, they've been proven wrong more times than you can imagine. Yet they still pump out a daily debate show, constantly going over the same old arguments, ones that have been debunked and are completely rubbish until they're blue in the face. Let's take another look at the largest group of collected delusion you'll ever see. Hello all and welcome along to another episode of Tinfoil Tuesday with me, SciManDan. Thank you very much for joining me. Those of you that have been watching for some time now will know that the space is fake theory goes hand in hand with the flat earth one. And of course, it's just as ridiculous. The reason I think it's developed some traction recently is that the flat earthers have finally realised that they can't prove a flat earth. So they've decided to have a go at the very thing that we require in order for Earth to be a globe: space. And apparently Nathan Oakley on a recent show managed to convince someone that space is fake. I simply had to have a look.
So I have another point which I would like to counter to the fact that gas goes in all directions.
So you just want to totally disregard that you...
Oh no, this is an answer to this. Don't worry. So if you use relative density to explain gas relative to a vacuum, then well, you have a difference between 0 and the density of gas, which means that the gas would go down.
How are you containing that gas?
Sorry, what? I don't know what you're talking about.
Now this is of course the argument that gas pressure cannot exist next to the vacuum of space. And we obviously say that gravity is the reason that the atmosphere sticks to the planet. But these guys have to go with relative density. That's their reason for why things fall, not gravity. The guest on Nathan's show knows this and made a great point. Even if it was relative density, gas would still go down in a vacuum. Nathan knew that his guest had a point, so he did this. Did you catch it?
Sorry, what? I don't know what you're talking about. What's the Karman line?
Wait.
Sorry, all
Hey,
I've got
I like that.
So I just want an answer to my question. What's the Karman line?
Did you get that? Nathan acts as if he doesn't understand what his guest is saying, but I think he does, only too well, which is why he's quickly changing the subject.
You said it's arbitrary. That's as much as I got as a description for what this is.
It is what we've defined as the boundary between the atmosphere and space.
Boundary? Sorry. Boundary?
And like a very hungry dog that finds a bone, Nathan latches onto that word.
Yeah, well, it's not a physical thing. It's
mate,
literally just the point where we consider it to be space and not atmosphere anymore.
What's a boundary?
Bad word, boundary. Don't... But
I mean,
excuse me, whoever's talking. Hello? Whoever's talking. Shh.
So condescending, isn't he?
What's a boundary?
Like a limit? A border? It's not a physical thing. Do you want me to say that it's a container?
I'm asking you.
I think he wants you to say. I think he wants you to say it's imaginary, and I imagine that it's real.
These space deniers love to talk about the Karman line as if it proves something. The Karman line is an attempt to define the place where Earth's atmosphere ends and space begins. Of course, there isn't a solid line. The change from atmosphere to vacuum of space is a very, very gradual one.
So, okay, fine. What's on one side of this imaginary arbitrary barrier?
And you can see that Nathan understands that, so he wants to make a point. But it's one that is moot, because we don't ever say that there is a proper dividing line. It's Strawman 101.
This is so funny, dude.
On one side is atmosphere.
And what's on the other side? And what's on the other side of it?
Nothing in inverted commas. Nothing.
Now, Nathan's guest here doesn't help his own cause because he's falling into Nathan's trap.
It's not a sky vacuum called outer space, the most powerful vacuum known to man, according to the religion of sky vacuums and spheres in them. It's not just nothing. It's 10 to the minus 17 torr vacuum, according to your religion. Do you want to try again?
Amusingly, Nathan spouts the numbers to appear in control.
I mean, yeah, but okay. I said it's nothing, which is a vacuum. Nothing
no, it's not. That's a violation of natural law. You see, you'd need a boundary for the gas pressure to press upon, otherwise it would expand rapidly in all directions and fill that available volume. It's called entropy. It's the second law of thermodynamics.
Actually, the thing you just described there, Nathan, is called diffusion. It happens when you spray something into a room. It doesn't happen with Earth's atmosphere, though, because of gravity.
So no, it's not a vacuum.
Okay.
Definitely not a vacuum. The sky is not a vacuum, because the gas we're breathing would fill the space by way of entropy.
Amazing. Nathan's knowledge of entropy is extremely limited. He knows the word and he knows it's related to thermodynamics. That's about it.
Increase.
Remember the balloon spider? Remember
Yes.
you said the balloon would explode? Yeah. But we have atmosphere here on Earth. The balloon didn't explode. So we're not in space.
Right, but the balloon does explode in real life, doesn't it?
It does. So
Just a
before
point of order.
okay, quick
Just
question.
a point of order, Your Honor.
Quick
Just
question.
a point of order, Your Honor.
Go on.
He said that we define space as the Karman line. Who is we?
I don't know who defined the Karman line. I must admit that.
The Karman line is actually something used by the World Air Sports Federation. NASA will say that the Earth's atmosphere actually extends a lot further. It's actually a point of contention within science.
Okay, well, the U.S. military and NASA do not consider the Karman line space. That's just a point of order, Your Honor. You may continue the questioning.
As I just said, that, by the way, was Quantum Eraser. Hi, Quantum Eraser.
Okay, so the balloon, as it's rising up, before it explodes, why doesn't the gas that's inside that balloon fill the space?
Oh. Sorry, what was that? I missed that.
The balloon example. What's stopping the gas, the helium inside the balloon, from filling the available volume prior to it exploding? What's stopping the gas from filling the space?
The
rubber and the pressure of the air outside.
So, to have the helium contained, it needed something around it, like a balloon, to stop it expanding in all directions, correct?
And again, Nathan leads his guests down a path that leads to nothing. Yes, gas pressure is usually displayed with a container, but we're talking about atmospheric pressure here. That is not general gas pressure. There's a difference. Now, more toing and froing took place between the two, but we're going to catch up with them nearer the point where Nathan thinks he claims a victory.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. If you think, well, if you're going to say gravity doesn't exist, and if that's the argument, well, then you can't have a vacuum next to gas. You can't. But that raises another problem. Is there infinite air?
Right, no.
How high does it go?
Sorry, your
I
conclusion.
want to know-
So let me get it straight. Your conclusion is that you can't have a sky vacuum if entropy is real, which it is. And further to that, you've got some questions.
You've misrepresented him there. He said that if gravity isn't real, then you can't have an atmosphere next to a vacuum. And obviously, we do have gravity, which means there isn't an atmosphere right next to a vacuum. There is a very, very gradual gradient.
Correct?
Yeah.
Yeah, your sky vacuum's not real. I couldn't care less about your questions. We've all got questions once we find out that we've been lied to on a massive scale, but you appreciate at a fundamental level that you can't have a sky vacuum, it stands in violation of natural law. So you now understand that outer space is fake. You understand and appreciate that. It stands in violation of natural law.
Crowd goes wild.
It stands in It stands in violation of natural law.
That's right. Outer space is fake.
Here, Nathan doesn't let him finish. I'm sure he was about to say, it stands in violation of natural law if gravity isn't real. Which it is. But then, if gravity wasn't real, then natural law would be all over the place, wouldn't it?
It stands in violation of natural law.
Thank you, Spider. That's a great
If you ignore gravity.
Sorry, ignore gravity, that's not a force. We went through this, Chikey.
Dismissing that point there?
I know you want to come back in with the circle jerk that this guy isn't seeming to adhere to. He's actually conceding that space is fake, by way of natural law, applicable always and inviolable. My God, why am I getting interrupted?
The interruption king asking why he's being interrupted. Brilliant.
Let me have my victory. Yeah, inviolable natural law dictates that the sky cannot possibly be a vacuum. Outer space is fake, Spider Daddy.
Okay. Well, for the sake of the argument, let's accept that.
Not for the sake of argument, it's proven out by natural law. This isn't some claim I'm making. It's something that you've just conceded based on natural law, and actually stated that it cannot possibly be a sky vacuum. This isn't a concede for the sake of argument situation. It's an inviolable natural law demonstrating that space is fake.
See how Nathan is continuing to repeat himself? Why would you do that, Nathan? Why?
That all those rockets they're sending to this place, they're all lies. Total lies. Not for the sake of argument, a complete lie you've been told. That up until this moment I think you believed in. Because of gravity.
Right, Nathan, but the thing is, I still do, but I want to move past it.
Oh, well, that's a shame. You want to move past, you want to retain your fundamentalist zealotry and believe that gravity can hold gas here. It can't, it's not a force. Which bit do you want to retain? You haven't got anything to retain. It stands in violation of natural law. So what is it exactly that you want to cling on to? And move past clinging on to what exactly? Gravity is a force. Is that what you want to cling on to keep the gas here? No, mate, it's not a force. What are you clinging on to exactly?
Maybe the hope that you'd debate fairly, or that you'd actually go out and learn something.
No.
What makes you think now that we've got this conversation, what makes you think the sky could be a vacuum?
Can I ask him one question?
No. What makes you think the sky is a vacuum? Given that it stands in violation of natural law as admitted by you, why would you think I'm just going to accept it anyway as a vacuum and move on? That's zealotry.
Not when people have been up there and experienced it.
Do you know what zealotry is?
I'm not saying we accept it as a vacuum. I'm saying, okay, the sky... I'm saying, okay, there is no vacuum up there.
They claim it's a 10 to the minus 17 torr vacuum that they're flying rockets out to. So you also understand that every word that NASA have told you about rockets going to this place is also therefore false. You appreciate that also?
Sure.
So you understand that NASA's a massive lie then? You are a globe believer who understands...
I don't care about NASA. Just throw it away.
You don't care about 52 million a day being pumped into lying about a sky vacuum that stands in violation of natural law. You don't care about that.
Despite Nathan's passionate plea, I can assure you that he doesn't care about that either. He's from the UK. It's not his money.
Sorry, Nathan, it's not my country. I don't...
Sorry,
their money they're wasting.
We've got ESA here. We've got the European Space Agency that do exactly the same thing in collaboration.
Well, yes. The UK pumps about £350 million a year into the ESA programme. That's just over 1 pence a day for the average UK citizen. Positively crippling.
Yeah, well, Switzerland doesn't fund them, do they?
Sorry, I'm not talking about the funding. I'm talking about the lies of a sky vacuum that's fundamental to the religious globe belief that we are in a sky vacuum as a sphere Earth. So you just like more than happy to contain your, what? globe belief anyway?
No.
So, welcome to Flat Earth.
Oh, f off, Nathan. I chose to show you this clip for a reason today. It is my strong opinion that Nathan is not a space denier. He is in it for other reasons. I think it's quite obvious from his responses and the manner in which he acts on his shows. I think this is a worrying trend. I wonder just how many of the UK's flat earthers truly believe that space is fake. Click up here for a poll on the community page and have your say. And that wraps up today's Tinfoil Tuesday. Thank you very much for watching. I do hope you enjoyed it. If you did, a like and subscribe would be thoroughly appreciated. I've been SciManDan. Have yourselves a great day, and I'll see you all tomorrow for some more physics fun. See you then.